end zone was a problem earlier in the year. You guys kind of were struggling in that situation.
Sorry
Exploded on Sunday against Houston. What started, do you think, started clicking for just the group of offensive players?
Um, I just think that we're still working on it. I think we were able to execute a little bit better. It helped like having the field position that we did, especially I think like we got a turnover on the first possession like by the defense that set us up. Got a field goal there. Wish we could have got 7, but I think it just kind of started us off right. We had a couple big penalties for us that went our way that gave us some good field position. But I think overall, like our execution was just better and in the red zone. I think we were like maybe like 4 for 5 with touchdowns, and that's just going to be like big for us. So hopefully we can just like springboard that and build some more confidence off of it and just make that a thing.
It's not often you guys have losses like this past one, especially where you put up over 30 points and you still are on the losing side. Just how do you get that taste out of your mouth? What is that like for you guys here?
I mean, to be honest, like you got to treat it like any other game, right? Like win, lose, or draw, like you have to move on to the next game. Like you can't hold on to it, but for so long because then you're setting yourself up for failure for the next week. I think like that's one of the beautiful things about the NFL is every week it's a new game, and like everybody's so good, so you can't hang on to a loss or a win too long, or else you're gonna like set yourself up for failure.
Chris, as a captain, how do you keep everybody gelling, moving in the right direction with the right intentions?
I think everyone's intentions are well, like in the right spot. I don't think like it's anything that we as captains have to do to like get guys going or anything. Like I think we're all still together. We all believe in each other. Like it's just a couple of plays here and there that we have to correct. Like we had to figure out like how to make those work and how to be on the same page.
And did you feel like the Texans were limited? Did they go into there feeling like, hey, we're not going to let Chris touch the ball? What was it that Texans were doing that maybe slowed you down? Usually we're so used to you getting like 5 receptions, 50 yards and all that stuff.
I don't necessarily know if it was something intentionally like done by them. I just think it was kind of like the way that the game, that the game went. Like I had a catch early on that was negated by a penalty. Me and Big didn't connect on like a little bit one like deeper down the field. And then there's like a couple miscommunications. So like if we clean up the things that we can control, like me and Bake, I think that'll make things better. And then just like kind of like the way that the game goes. Like I don't particularly care like too much. Like I'm more concerned about the win. Like if we won that game, it's just like it's whatever. Like you got 2 catches, but for me, I just try to do whatever I can to contribute. Trying to do a little bit better job in the blocking game. Try to present a better target for Bake, and hopefully we can get this thing gelling again.
Such a swing of emotions in that final minute of the game. You guys go ahead. You got to think in your mind the way the defense had played earlier in the year. 46 seconds, there's no way they're getting down the field. Right?
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it's like it happens, right?
Yeah.
Like it's unfortunate. I think the Texans they made some good plays. Their quarterback was poised. He made some really nice throws. We just didn't make the plays, right? And it's like it's not just on the defense. Like it's not just on like one side of the ball. Like, because if that was the case, then like early on in the season, like we weren't scoring, the defense could put it on us, right? But it's like that's not how this team works. We're not out here pointing fingers or blaming guys. It's like we got to figure out a way to win the game as a unit. Like there are plenty of opportunities that we had offensively to take advantage of some of the things they were doing, and we didn't. So it's like we can help our defense out. And it's like we gotta keep this thing together.
Carlton said it was like a nightmare for him, playing in the game and seeing how they blew that game. But for you on the sidelines watching it, what was it like?
I mean, you just like watching it and seeing like just how it plays out. Like we always have confidence in our defense, and like of course like that's something that Carlton would say because nobody wants to go out there and have a rough game. Right. Like I feel for him, and it's like anybody that's either played football or been out there long enough to to experience it. Like everyone has bad games sometimes. And it's not our job as teammates to go out there and somebody while they're down. Like we're here to pick them up. We know what kind of player Carlton is, and we know he's going to be like bounce back and be better for it. So like we're not concerned. It's just like from an offensive perspective, we're looking at how do we be better? Like how do we put them in a better spot to where it's not a one possession game at the end of the game. You know what I mean?
Chris, what's the biggest challenge for the Titans is coming up this week?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is just their physicality, right? Like they pride themselves on being a physical team. We got to match that, and we have to match that physicality, right? Like Derrick Henry's a great running back. They have a great offensive line, and then as of late, they've been doing a really good job. Will's been, giving them a spark. DeAndre Hopkins is making some explosive plays. So, just like we got to match that physicality, and bring that to them, and then turn it into our game. But I think it'll be a really good challenge for us. And obviously, you know, we're looking to get back in the win column, so we have to do whatever we can to make that happen.
Chris, if you play this game long enough, you're going to have a bad game.
Yep.
You're going to have drops. You're going to have things you have to overcome.
Of course.
There's problems this week.
Yep.
What do you do to reset yourself if you've had that game in high school?
Yeah, I mean, sure, I definitely have had that. Like, and that for me, it came, I think, Washington playoff game. That was a rough game for me. Like, and it was a big moment. But for me, it's like I had to really reset myself. You know, it's like you go look at yourself in the mirror and just like understand like who you are. Like, you're here for a reason. Like, you know, people that aren't supposed to be in this position, they don't keep getting multiple chances to mess up, right? Like, if he wasn't a great player, like, he gets scored on one time, somebody else is going to be out there. So it's like it's the same thing. It's going back to who you are as a player, what you worked yourself to get to this point for, and just like trusting yourself. And like as teammates, again, it's our job to have his back, which we do. So we're gonna lean on your guys for support and just go back to work. You know, when things are bad, you just work, man.
Didn't Tom also say something to you after that?